General Hospital 2-week spoilers July 14th to 25th, Nina's shocking panic attack and Jason faces deadly threat. General Hospital 2-week spoilers for July 14th to 25th 2025 see Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, panics and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton is threatened. General Hospital spoilers, Jason's warning and Rocco's curiosity. Jason gets a warning. You might even say it's a little bit of a threat. And it's from Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning. She is not happy. Jason has been talking to Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr, about Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault. And Lulu is really mad that Jason actually had nice things to say to Rocco about the woman who stole her embryo and grew her son in her tummy. So he's been warned, but you know Rocco is going to approach him again. Also, Emma Scorpio Drake, Braden Bruner comes clean. I think she's probably going to tell Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza she stole Vaughn's, Bryce Durfee Masterkey so she can creep into Hank Dalton's, Daniel Goddard lab. Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, tells Dr. Isaiah Gannon, Sandy Wilson, that Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, drove her to do what she did, not about the Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson stuff. It's probably more about her breakdown. Anna Devane, Finola Hughes orders a rush background check on Vaughn. And Anna fills in Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner on some of her concerns. Emma's cute stray dog eats Anna's expensive heels. And so she's griping at her granddaughter. Alexis defends Sonny and Natalia's memorial drama. Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grand sticks up for Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard. She's talking to Marco Rios, Adrian Anchando, and Alexis says that it's just very unlikely that Sonny killed Natalia Rogers Ramirez, Eva LaRue. Marco doesn't get why Alexis thinks Sonny wasn't involved in Natalia's death since his mom was cutting a deal with D.A. Turner, Nazneen contractor, to testify against him. Plus, Sonny is a known killer, so Marco doesn't understand her blind faith. I don't either. Lucy Coe, Lynn Herring talks to Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, and he still doubts that Natalia's overdose was accidental. Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, is devastated during a little family meeting with Sonny and Michael, and he may be telling her that Sasha is thinking about leaving town with Daisy. Carly's very upset and wants to know if Michael thinks somebody's after baby Daisy because of Sonny. And Michael may be thinking maybe all the kids are safer elsewhere. Things go off the rails at Natalia's memorial, and if Sonny shows up, you know that's not going to be appreciated by either Marco or Sidwell. Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna gets together with Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, and Vaughn to talk about her mission, and Jack wants to make sure that Jocelyn is fully committed. Tuesday's twists, Sasha's departure and Willow's woes. Tuesday, July 15th, Sasha goes to see Nina probably to let her know she's planning to leave Port Charles, but I also wonder if she might say something harsh to her about revealing her one-night stand with Michael. Willow gets some rough news, and it may be from the court about the visitation plan or about Michael maybe planning to leave. Somebody gets a warning from Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson. And it could be Willow, could be one of his enemies. He has so many. Sonny gets one up on Sidwell, and I hope he doesn't hurt or take Marco. Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, panics, and that's why I'm wondering if Marco might be in danger. Remember he asked Carly to go talk to Sonny and she did, but he was being very stubborn. Wednesday's conflicts, Curtis's dilemma and Jason's tough talk. Wednesday, July 16th, Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, is trying to avoid answering his Aunt Stella Henry's, Vernay Watson questions. She is probably trying to just get an update on how he and Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, are doing, and I'm sure Curtis doesn't want to lie to Stella, but we all know things with him and Portia are doing quite badly. He hates what Drew has done to their marriage. But also Portia opened the door to that. Drew locks in the big plan he's cooking up, and I'm sure it's to help Willow regain custody, you know, get married to her, control his enemies, get Sonny off the docks. He's got so many irons in the fire, he might as well be a blacksmith. Hospital spoilers, is it Rocco? So Jason has a tough talk with someone, and it could be Rocco who may come back to him with more questions about Britt. He may have questions about Liesel Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti since Rocco emailed her. But if it is Rocco, Jason is going to have to tell him, you know, I can't talk to you about that, and Rocco will immediately know that's Lulu's work and he may end up really mad at his mom. Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, and Jocelyn have a deep conversation about the men in their lives, and I'm sure Trina is going to tell her she dumped Kai for disloyalty, and Jocelyn may be talking to her about Vaughn, which is dangerous territory since that's her spy job. Michael weighs a big decision. This could be whether he's going to pitch a fit about Sasha leaving with Daisy, or maybe he thinks, okay, maybe me, Wiley, and Amelia should go with Sasha and Daisy. So we'll see. Thursday's discoveries, Anna's findings and Sonny's unselfishness. Thursday, July 17th, Anna finds what she's looking for, and looks like she's going to get answers about that background check that she ran ASAP on Vaughn. Jocelyn leaps into action, and it may be about the new WSB Dalton plan. It may be something to do with what Anna has found out. She was already helping Vaughn out with the whole Emma and Anna issue. Sonny is asked to be unselfish. We'll see. Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, and Lulu disagree about something. It may be about Rocco, but I tend to think it's probably about Brooklyn Quartermaine, Amanda Seton, who she despises and thinks is 100% wrong. You know, Lulu doesn't think she did anything wrong because she was just telling the truth and thinks that her situation with her son is completely defensible. Fans are very divided. But I see about honestly it's like 65 to 70% are Team BLQ and 30 to 40 maybe are Team Lulu. A lot of people just don't like the way they are writing Lulu since she came out of her coma. To be fair, people do come out of comas behaving differently. This is a whole new version of her. Nina pays for her past actions. So, Drew may circle back around and punish Nina for her role in the ketamine incident and make her do his bidding. Friday's encounters, Willow's plea and Jason's shock. Friday, July 18th, Michael, Sasha and baby Daisy bump into Willow at General Hospital. And if he is thinking about taking the kids and leaving Port Chuck, that may be the cause of Willow's begging, which she does on Friday. Anna interrogates Carly, and it may be about Jocelyn dating Vaughn, his age. And what she found in the background check? Dante sees something that takes him off guard. Jason's in shock on Friday and Portia stands her ground. Week of July 21st to 25th, Willow's spiral and Sasha's exit. The week of July 21st through the 25th, I think we're going to be seeing Willow spiraling further. But if Michael is considering leaving with Sasha, Willow brought that on by messing with Sasha and the baby. Portia may fight dirty. Sonny makes a decision. Nina is struggling. Of course, she's under Drew's thumb, and she doesn't want to alienate Willow, so she may be forced to do what Drew demands yet again. Sasha seems ready to pack up and leave. And we have heard that Sophia Matson's contract was not renewed. So we'll see if she actually takes the baby and goes. We should be seeing Liesl meeting with Rocco very soon. He emailed her last week, and then there's going to be more action on that in week 1. And in week 2 they might finally get their meet up. I'm sure Liesl will be thrilled to hear from her fake ex-grandson Rocco/Ben. Marco gets even angrier about no justice for his mom Natalia. Drew's demands increase and Carly gets suspicious, and I wonder if it is about Jack and Vaughn and Jocelyn. Nina and Liesl Albrecht's sinister plot to take down Drew. General Hospital sees Liesl Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti back to Port Charles soon. And she will not be happy to hear that her niece, Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, is under Drew Kane Quartermaine's, Cameron Matheson thumb. Will these two plot against Congressman Cutthroat? We're going to talk about how Liesl might jump on board to help Nina take Drew down for good and get him away from Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. Liesl Albrecht's return to General Hospital, Rocco, Nina, and Willow drama. So we don't know exactly when Liesl is back. But it should be July. So, only a couple of weeks left in the month. We do know that Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thiebaud, is back on the scene this week. She was in this week's promo when Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, takes Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, and baby Daisy over to the airport. He's supposed to be going along to get them settled. Jason is shocked to see someone that looks just like Britt. So, I wonder if he'll still get on the plane or if he'll tell Sasha, "I'll meet you there later." So, we have heard rumors that Kelly Thiebaud is not playing Britt or a clone. But she's definitely at least a doppelganger of some sort. Because Jason's head whipped right around when he saw her. And that wouldn't have happened if they were just pretending that she was somebody new. So, as for Britt's darling mother, Liesl, she's also back soon, and she has big scenes with Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr, and I'm sure other family will follow. General Hospital, Rocco meets Liesl. Young actor Finn Francis Carr said he enjoyed the scenes with her, and he mentioned that Rocco dressed to impress when he goes to meet with Liesl. He's in a button-up shirt and said he even did this comb-over thing to control his curly locks. It sounds really cute. I can't wait to see it. But I do expect that after she chats with Rocco, Liesl is going to check in with other members of the family, and Nina and her daughter Willow are going to be on Dr. O's must-see list when she's back to Port Charles. Rocco emailed Liesl recently, and that's going to bring her back to town. And if you recall, for the first year of Rocco's life, he did grow up as Britt's son, Ben Westbourne. He was Liesl's grandson, you know, kind of fake grandson. But she loved Rocco nonetheless. So, I'm sure Liesl is going to be more than happy to come back to Port Charles and tell Rocco whatever he wants to know about her daughter Britt. Nina's predicament and Liesl's potential intervention against Drew. Aside from seeing Rocco, of course, Liesl will be ecstatic to see her niece Nina. She can't see Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, unless they use the replacement actress. Because Kirsten Storms is off as we leaked. But I don't think Liesl will be happy to see the state of her niece or her great-niece Willow's life at the moment. And of course, Nina is going to be thrilled to have her Aunt Liesl back. Because she loves her. But also, Nina doesn't have that many people in her corner right now. And fewer still that she can actually tell what she's done and the situation she's gotten herself into because of her actions. But she can totally open up to Liesl. General Hospital, Drew makes more threats. So this week, I expect we could see Drew making more threats against Nina. Because he knows she was in with Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr on the ketamine plan. Drew's been blackmailing and controlling Nina for a while now, and she can't escape his threats. And Nina is always on the edge of losing Willow at any moment. Because of Drew. So having Liesl back may be a big comfort to Nina. Because she'll have Liesl's support and somebody to talk about everything she's going through with Drew. And on top of that, we all know Liesl is ruthless. And I don't think she's going to be happy to hear Drew is blackmailing her niece and making her life miserable. Nina may get Dr. O to see what an evil rat bastard that Drew is and convince her that they need to get Willow away from him. I highly doubt that Liesl will be pro-Drew despite her history with the ex-Navy SEAL, which is positive. Liesl is extremely protective of her family. And right now, Drew's got control over Willow and basically control over Nina, and he's messing with her peace of mind. He has dismantled Willow's life. Because he has a fixation on her. That's the bottom line. Liesl's ruthless past and potential schemes against Drew. And if you don't remember though, Drew actually saved Liesl's life back when they first cast Cameron Matheson in the role, and Drew was being held captive and under the control of Peter August, Wes Ramsey, with Victor Cassadine, Charles Shaughnessy also involved at that compound. If you remember, Liesl was also being held captive and she actually tended to some of Drew's injuries. That was back in 2021. Victor was obsessed with her and Drew managed to get Liesl out of there. Where he saved her. But I don't think that past heroics will buy Drew too much sympathy from Liesl considering how far off the rails he's gone since then. Drew might want to remember that this is the same woman who abducted supervillain Peter August, held him captive in a cabin in the woods. Dr. O was torturing him and then she tried to burn him to death, setting the place on fire. Because he played a part in her son Nathan West's Ryan Pavey death. Because he called Faison in and he shot their son. So while Liesl no doubt appreciates Drew saving her from Peter and Victor, I don't see Liesl letting Drew get away with blackmailing Nina and manipulating Willow. And if you recall, Liesl was thrilled to find out Willow's her great niece. She donated bone marrow to save Willow's life when she was dying of leukemia. And you know, in fact, Drew was the one who saved Liesl and brought her back from Greece so she could save Willow. So Liesl's going to be shocked and disappointed to see that Drew has gotten so far away from the decent man he used to be. Liesl leaps into action? I can definitely see Liesl leaping into action, helping Nina take Drew down to protect her and Willow and the kids, Wiley Quartermain Corinthos, Viron Weaver, and Amelia Grace Corinthos, Sequoia and Serenity Mork-Mako. So, I can totally see Liesl saying, enough of this. Drew's lost his way. He needs to be put out of their families' lives. Put down maybe. You know, I bet it wouldn't take much for Nina to convince Liesl to help her take care of that slime bag. And together, Nina and Albrecht could cook up a scheme to get rid of Drew, or to at least convince Willow that he needs to go. You know, that's the very minimum if they can't just wholesale get rid of him. And of course, Nina is not going to want to kill Drew. But Liesl might, you know. But she's also a kooky and brilliant doctor. Nina has a bottomless bank account, so they could do some serious conspiring between the two of them. I'm sure they can figure out a way to get Drew away from Willow and hopefully out of town. I mean, I think it'd be great if they could throw him back in that cell in Greece where Victor and Peter had him for a couple of years. Mind control experiments and potential twists with Hank Dalton. I mean, who knows? Maybe Liesl can get her hands on that tarot card that activates Drew's conditioning and, you know, controls him. And we have heard from a leaker, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt that Albrecht is working with Hank Dalton, Daniel Goddard, on his dodgy mind control science experiments. If you remember on General Hospital this week, Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, told Dalton that their mutual friend wasn't happy with the slow progress he's making. And Sidwell said they're sending a courier. So, I wonder if the Brit lookalike is the courier and maybe Liesl is their mutual friend. We'll see. But this was a leak, not a spoiler, about Albrecht and Dalton. So, this leaker's been pretty correct on other things like Jonathan Jackson's exit, Kirsten Storm's temporary exit, Sophia Mattsson's coming exit. So, we'll see if Dr. O has more than one reason to come to town, Rocco and Dalton, and then more reasons to stick around, including Nina and Willow and the big fat problem with Drew. And if Dalton really is doing mind control experiments, maybe they can experiment on Drew. General Hospital, will Drew be stopped? I mean, it'd be awesome if Liesl could, you know, brainwash Drew and say, dump Willow, resign from Congress, and move to, you know, I don't know, Nova Scotia or somewhere and never come back. That would be great. The mayor might even give Liesl a reward if she made that happen. It would be a huge community service. I cannot wait to see Rocco and Dr. Albrecht. I can't wait to see Kathleen Gotti back. And I especially can't wait to see Liesl's reaction when she finds out Drew has taken over Willow's life like a psycho and is trying to ruin Nina's life as well.